There we go. Cool. That feels more like me. Hello, friends. Today, I will be reading like Rory Gilmore. Cheers. My God, that's ungodly hot. Hi friends, my name is Lexi and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be such a fun day because today I am attempting to read like Rory Gilmore. Today is going to be a good old-fashioned 24-hour-thon and it's going to be a themed one and I am so excited. But before we get into the video and I tell you a little bit about today's challenge, which is going to be attempting the Rory Gilmore challenge, I would like to take a few seconds to thank today's sponsor, which is Ritual Vitamins. Thank you so much to Ritual for sponsoring today's video. So what exactly is Ritual? Well, I'm glad you asked. Ritual is the obsessively researched multivitamin reimagining health from the ground up, and it takes the guesswork out of vitamins. Ritual contains 9 high-quality nutrients from vitamins D3 to omega-3 that are difficult to get enough of every day, even with a healthy diet. And Ritual vitamins are actually vegan, allergen-free, non-GMO, gluten-free, and also they have no sugar added. Also, a side note, they actually come with this little tiny capsule that actually makes the whole thing taste like mint. And it's so cool! And Ritual also has products that actually support the entire family's health, so if you are interested in looking more into it, all of the links will be down below. They also have a men's capsule as well as a few others. So again, if you're looking to support even more of your family's health, you can check out all of their products down below by clicking my link. And if you are interested in trying Ritual today, you can actually use my code and you can get your very first month with Ritual for 20% off. All of the links will be down below. You can use my personal link as well as my code again for that 20% off. So if you are looking for a new multivitamin, I highly recommend Ritual as that is the one that I have personally been taking and I have been really enjoying my experience so far. And now we can get back to the Rory Gilmore readathon. Okay, so today's concept is not a new concept by any means. Actually, this is heavily inspired by several content creators as well as Booktok creators, and I will leave them all down below. My main source of inspiration though is from one of my very favorite booktubers named Kira. I will go ahead and leave her channel down below and I highly recommend that you check her out if you are a fan of Rory Gilmore. She actually does like 24-hour readathons with one of her friends, Carolyn, and I love Carolyn as well, so I will also link her down below. And then aside from both of them, also Darling Desi has done quite a few like Gilmore inspired videos and recommendations, so I will link her down below as well. Yeah, this is not a new concept by any means. I've just always wanted to try it. So if you don't know who Rory Gilmore is, she is a popular television character from an old television series called The Gilmore Girls, and it was actually on while I was going to school, and I really looked up to Rory Gilmore at that time because I had yet to see a lot of characters who were girls who were my age who were kind of praised for like their intelligence and their love of reading, and I really felt, I don't know, like a kindred spirit in how she wanted to go to college and how she always wanted to try to be smarter. She wanted to be a writer, and she also was completely obsessed with books. I don't know if you've noticed, but I too am also completely obsessed with books. I do think it's really important to mention as a huge fan of the Gilmore Girls though, that it is not without its problems. And so I would say that I don't think that the Gilmore Girls are perfect. Just because I love Rory Gilmore doesn't mean I don't also notice that the Gilmore Girls isn't completely perfect and that Rory isn't without her flaws. Especially in the reboot, I was really disappointed kind of with like her character arc and things. I felt like she was very entitled and I didn't always love like the jokes that were being told. And I think it's really important that if you love something, you can continue to love it as long as you're acknowledging that it's not without its flaws. And the Gilmore Girls definitely has its flaws. Having said that, I've always wanted to attempt this challenge, and I will always have a soft spot for the television series because it meant so much to me growing up. And so I thought it would be so much fun to attempt to do the Rory Gilmore challenge on my channel. Okay, so what is the challenge, you might ask? The Rory Gilmore challenge is this. Throughout the years, people have actually taken down all of the books that Rory Gilmore is seen with, and they have compiled this massive list. Now you can do the list one of two ways. You can either do the list that was just before the reboot of Netflix, or you can also include some of the books that were in the reboot as well. And I have printed out the entire list of the reboot and all of the other ones in seasons 1 through 7. I'm so excited. And when I say reboot, I mean a year in the life. But I think you knew that. So here's what I did. For all 408 books here, I went through and I checked off all of the books that I have already read. And then I went through and I took a purple highlighter and I highlighted every single book that I haven't read but that I own. And today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over all of the ones that I have but I haven't read yet. And I'm gonna be picking a couple and I'm going to be attempting to read like Rory Gilmore for 24 hours. So before we go any further, let's go and hunt for some of these books. Okay, so looking at this list right now, I can tell you I am not going to be going for like an Anna Karenina because I don't even think I could finish that in 24 hours. So I will be looking for shorter books. I'm really interested in pulling 1984 because I'm pretty sure that one's really short. I'm also interested in And Then There Were None, but I don't know, because Bel Canto and Beloved sound really good too. And then on the back, I'm actually also really interested in reading The Virgin Suicides, and I think that one's short. So let's see what I can find. So I actually think most of these are going to be downstairs on my other bookcase, but let me see what is up here. Let me see here, 1984. Ooh, this one's actually not as thin as I thought. How many pages is this? Okay, so this one's an option. It is just under 300 pages, so that's not too bad. I can probably do that in a day. Look at how cute my little dog is. She's so cute. So I'm pretty sure that The Virgin Suicides is somewhere in here. Like I see several from Fitzgerald. I think this one is on the list, so this one might be like a good one too. This Side of Paradise. That doesn't look too long. Okay, and here's The Virgin Suicides. We'll have to see like how many pages this is, but this could be good. And then I also see The Sun Also Rises is here, so I'm gonna pull this one too. I have no idea what the cover of And Then There Were None looks like. I wanna say that I think it's a white cover, so maybe it's up there. I just have no idea. Maybe it was actually a red cover. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Oh my gosh, I found it. Okay. Okay, Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. Cool. I also want to see if I can find Bel Canto because I'm pretty sure I have a signed edition actually. Isn't it blue? But I know I purchased it from Ann Patchett's bookstore, Parnassus, up in Nashville. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we've got this as an option as well. Okay, so here are the books that I've picked out for today. Obviously, I have 24 hours. I will be so excited if I can just finish one of these. I'm not necessarily the world's fastest reader. I'm going for 3. So here are the options for today. The first one is This Side of Paradise by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Next, I have The Virgin Suicides by Jeffery Eugenides. Then I've got Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. Next, I have 1984 by George Orwell. I have Ann Patchett's Bel Canto. And finally, I have The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. So I'm torn because so many of these sound so good, but I think that the two I'm going to be working the hardest to finish today are going to be Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, and and The Virgin Suicides by Jeffery Eugenides, because I've wanted to read this for such a long time, and they're both fairly short. And then I don't know, but if I can, like if I have any time left, I will then try to pick up one of these. I don't know which one I'm gonna be more in the mood for, The Sun Also Rises or Bel Canto, but I wanted to read both of these for such a long time. And I just purchased this really pretty copy of this year, so it would be great to actually read this. So that is my TBR for today's 24-hour-a-thon. I am so excited. I have my official Stars Hollow t-shirt, as well as my official Luke's mug. Those are the plans. I think I'm going to see if I can find And Then There Were None on audio so that I can like clean my library a little bit while listening to the book. And then I think I'm going to start the physical copy of The Virgin Suicides. So I will catch up with you as soon as I have an update. Okay. Okay, so it is about to be 6 o'clock And I've had such a good day so far. I went to the pool, I read a little bit. My book now smells like the pool. So it smells like sunscreen and like chlorine and sunshine, and a little bit like my perfume, and it just makes me so happy. That's one of the reasons why I love reading like on vacation or by a pool, because I feel like the books like hold the memories in the sense. I don't know. Anyways, so I've had a really, really good day so far. I'm on page 47 of the Virgin Suicides, and this book is so beautifully written. It's a very, very, very sad book. I'm gonna say it's not perfect. There was a part in this book that I really did not like. It was very like racist in its undertones. This is a book, it's a fictional account of all of these boys who collectively are telling the stories of their neighbors who all unalived themselves. Okay, and it's really, really sad, and throughout the story they're almost putting together pieces of evidence to try to figure out why they did it. And you know that all of them are going to pass away, like from the very opening of the book. It's a very sad book. Like the mood is very depressing, very sad. If you are in a dark place, do not pick up this book. But it's like, it's written so beautifully, and the way these girls are described is honestly like so tragic and gorgeous. Like, the writing is so good. This is one of my very favorite passages of all time in any book that I've ever read. The boys are trying to dissect the diary entry of the first girl who passes away, who unalives herself, named Cecilia. After reading the entries, like this is kind of their conclusion. So this is after like reading the diary entries. It says, "We could never understand why the girls cared so much about being mature, or why they felt compelled to compliment each other. But sometimes, after one of us had read a long portion of the diary out loud, we had to fight back the urge to hug one another or to tell each other how pretty we were. We felt the imprisonment of being a girl, the way it made your mind active and dreamy, and how you ended up knowing which colors went together. We knew that the girls were our twins, that we all existed in space like animals with identical skins, and that they knew everything about us, though we couldn't fathom them at all. We knew finally that the girls were really women in disguise, and that they understood love and even death, and that our job was merely to create noise that seemed to fascinate them." I feel like you need to pick up this book if you enjoy really beautiful, gorgeous writing, and if you enjoy kind of like thinking of existential topics. It's a really, really interesting book. It's so beautiful. It's so well written. It is really sad, like the whole thing. The whole thing so far is honestly just about unaliving yourself. So it's a really, really sad book. But I am enjoying it, which is kind of weird to say. So yeah, I think that's it for my update right now. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and I'm going to pick up like a sandwich or something for my dinner. And when I come back, I might actually switch to the audiobook of And Then There Were None and try to listen to that a bunch tonight, just because I really, really, really want to start that one as well. I'm going to go pick up a sandwich because I'm really hungry, and then I'll come right back and keep reading. Okay? Guess who got pizza? Oh my god, it's beautiful. You guys, I am so tired. I just had some pizza, which like I never eat that late, but I ate at like 10 or 9:30 or something. It's 11:30 right now. My dogs are drinking water. I'm sorry. I am so tired. I got to page 106 in And Then There Were None, and I'm going to keep reading, but I think this is going to be my last update for tonight because I am so tired. So I'm going to take off all my makeup and take a nice little bath, and I'll keep reading a little bit, and then I will talk to you in the morning. Okay, bye. I probably look gross because I just got back from the pool, and actually it looks like it's about to storm really, really hard. So I didn't see that like when I left the pool, but I'm so glad that I left when I did, because I would have been asked, like all of us would have been asked to leave anyways. But hello. Okay, so I think this is my first talking update of the day. So I have to update you on all of the stuff I've read. So I actually finished And Then There Were None this morning with my breakfast. I made like eggs and toast this morning, and it was so good. and I finished this book, and this book is so good. If you have not read this book and you enjoy thrillers and mysteries, I think you will love it because it was so engaging. I want to give it like a 5-star, and I'm going to just because like overall it was so amazing, from like the tone to like the plot twists and everything. But I will say that it had a trope that I don't always love in thrillers and mysteries, and that is the mystery doesn't get solved, and then at the very end, like after the story, there is this, you know, letter from whoever the bad guy is saying, this is how I did everything. And I think for the most part, when I'm reading a thriller, I like it to be kind of solved throughout the story. So the thing about this book is I loved it so much, but the ending I think would have been better if it had been revealed as a part of the story. Instead, the story ended and it almost felt like an epilogue where we learn how things happen and like we had everything explained to us. And I like to be considered like an intelligent reader, and I like to be unpacking it as I go, but there was just like no way with this one, I don't think, unless you had it explained to you. I kind of want to take off like half of a point and give it like a 4.5 because of that. I don't like things explained to me, but I don't think I can, because it was just so fast paced and so gripping and so well thought out, and every character was so interesting that it really felt like it read like a 5-star read to me. So I'm still giving it a 5-star, but I don't think it's perfect, but I really love it and I highly recommend it. Next, let's talk about The Virgin Suicides. I got to page 70. I took this to the pool, and one thing that I would say is I don't recommend reading this by the pool. I recommend reading a fast-paced book by the pool, like a romance or a thriller. But like the thing with literary fiction, which is what this is I feel like it's almost more like connecting you to a mood or an emotion. This reads very nostalgic, it's very interesting, but it is not fast-paced. It was really hard to get through 30 pages at the pool because I actually find parts of this book to be a little boring and monotonous. The people who are describing this, like this group of boys looking back on this family and these girls, they're describing so many details that I just don't care about. It's not a story where we're trying to find out what happened. We're just kind of being told this really sad and tragic tale. And it's almost written in like stream of conscious, because a character will be brought up and then we'll hear like tons of backstory on this character. And I would say that it's beautiful and I'm really enjoying reading it, but at times it feels so monotonous and like kind of hard to get through. The parts that I was reading actually I thought were kind of boring compared to like the beginning. But okay, so here is my plan. Technically, the 24-hour-thon is over. It is 2 o'clock, but I really, really, really want to try to read the rest of this book today. I'm on page 70. I don't know if I can, but I really, really want to try reading this book. So I think I'm going to make myself something to drink. I'm going to read this a little bit more, and then I will update you as soon as I have some kind of an update. I would say though, like I do like the book. I don't want you to think that I don't like it. I just think that parts of it are kind of boring. That's my update, but I do get to check off this book from the Rory Gilmore list, which I have here. And then there were none. Yay! But I'm gonna go ahead and give my dogs a cookie, and I'm gonna enjoy this really, really nice summer storm. I'm gonna get some lemonade probably, and I will continue reading this, and I will update you very soon. Hello friends! Okay, so I have gotten to page, I think like 100 in The Virgin Suicides. However, I needed a little bit of a break, and I thought, what is more Rory Gilmore than going to a bookstore? Like I wasn't going to, but like we really have to in the spirit of the vlog, you know? At least that's what I'm like telling myself. So let's go ahead and do some book shopping. Okay, so this has to be the first book that I purchased because everyone is talking about it, and I saw this on Liv's channel and it just sounds really good. I also kind of want to check this one out, but I haven't heard like the best things about it. But I still love Sean McGuire, so I think I'll just at least look through it. I've also heard really, really good things about this. Okay. The fact that this is a Rory Gilmore vlog, and it literally says Rory on the top, it's a sign that I should be here, you know? Hello besties! I wanted to share with you the books that I got because of course I got a lot. I had to do it for Rory Gilmore. you know? So the first book I got is kind of giving me like The Ocean at the End of the Lane vibes, sort of. It's called Fly Away. This is by Kathleen Jennings. This was just released this year by Tor, and it's a novella that is sort of like a fairy tale, apparently. It seems really, really interesting. It says half mystery, half fairy tale, all exquisitely rendered and full of teeth. It's about a girl who apparently finds a note from one of her vanished brothers. It says that the note makes her question her memories of their disappearance and her father's departure. And then it says this is a story that proves that gothic delights and uncanny family horror can live and even thrive under a burning sun. Next, I got a book that I'm very excited to read, hopefully this fall. I first saw this, I think, like I want to say on Desi's channel. Next, I got another romance for the summer, and it's called The Roughest Draft. This is supposed to be like Hate to Lovers. It's about two authors who used to co-write and they were bestsellers together, but like their books are not doing very well now that they're not working together. And so even though they hate each other, they have to get back together and try to write another bestseller. And I guess like feelings ensue, and like I'm so excited about it. It sounds so good. And then the final one that I picked up, this apparently is following two children, I think in Victorian London, and some monsters. That's literally all I know, but I've heard really, really good things about this so far from so many different book reviewers who I love. So I really, really wanted to pick it up. I think it'll be so good to devour this fall. If anyone has read Seasonal Fears by Shauna Maguire, please let me know like your thoughts, because she is one of my favorite authors of all time and I loved Middle Game so much. But every time I pick up her sequel, Seasonal Fears, I'm like, I don't know if I am vibing with the book as much, and I felt like Middle Game was kind of perfect on its own. And then also like Kayla didn't really like it from Books and Lala, and so I'm like, oh, I don't know, because we have really similar tastes when it comes to like speculative fiction. So I don't know if I'm gonna like it, and I haven't picked it up because the world is so perfect that I almost don't want to mess with it. But if you've read it and you loved it, will you please let me know down below? Or if you've read it and hated it, also let me know that too. But yes, I'm home now. I still have a little bit of my chai. I'm gonna go inside and I think I'm going to continue reading the book. I want to say it's like 5 o'clock. I don't know if I'm going to finish this book. The book is good, but it's like one of those books where I feel like it just has a lot of parts that feel unnecessary and kind of like dragging, and that is what's happening. So it's really hard for me to like continue to focus and want to push through, versus if I was reading like a thriller or something where like there is lots of plot twists and turns, and it just like really holds my attention. So I'm gonna keep reading this and I will update you. I don't think I'm gonna like continue this tomorrow, so I will update you when I'm ready to kind of like call it quits. I'm hoping to finish it, but I'm on page like 100 and it's like 240. I don't think I'm gonna finish this tonight. So I'm gonna go inside, keep reading for a little bit, and then I will give you my final update. Okay, bye. Hello friends. Okay, so I think I'm officially calling it for the night. I want to say it's around 8 o'clock, and honestly, as much as I am enjoying this, and I still am enjoying this, I think I want to like binge watch Netflix or something. So I think I'm going to call it for the 24-hour-thon. Technically it went I think it went 8 hours past a 24-hour-thon. I got to page 150 of this book and I do still really enjoy it, but so far I also think that some parts could have been cut out, but I could see this kind of going either way. I think this is going to end up being a 4-star, but I could see maybe possibly how this could go back up to being a 5-star, or if it kind of continues in the same tone, maybe it would feel a little bit more like a 3-star. I don't think it's going to be below that, but I guess you never know. So I'll talk about this more in my next wrap up. And then of course I also finished And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, which I rated 5 stars. Thank you so much for joining me on this Rory Gilmore 24-hour readathon. I had so much fun, and thank you again to today's sponsor. Thank you again so much to Ritual for sponsoring today's video. All of my links again will be down below, so if you are interested in learning more, I highly recommend checking them out. And if you want to use my code, again, you can get your very first month for only 20% off, and you can start using Ritual today. And in honor of Rory Gilmore herself, if you have made it to this point in the video, please leave me some sort of like a school emoji, like a ruler or a pencil or a stack of books, like whatever you want, but something academic. And I think you guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I love all of you so much. And until next time, book lovers, keep your head in the clouds and your heart in a book, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.
Always think of you when spring comes, like it's something in the air at that time. Don't know why. Always dream of you when spring comes. It's like the heat on my skin takes me back to the time met you on